Yep.
If you do that.
So, not even.
No, but what I told you, whichever way you look at it, the game is going to finish early. Na?
Yeah. Yep.
Whether India wins or that rare chance that West Indies wins,
Yep. Jaden Seals.
it would have
Jaren seals it was.
Yep.
finished early as well.
And nope, not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. 22.2.
But India tantalizingly close
If there was Richie Beno,
2-2-2 for two.
for two.
I like this fan group who comes for all the games in Australia. The Richies.
They all come dressed as Richie
Richie
Beno.
Beno. Yeah.
See, but this is something that I don't know. People will be upset when they say, "Oh, this much wickets lost." But you would have predicted that Rohit Sharma would be hitting the winning runs.
Okay.
now.
Anybody would have, nah. 114 chasing. You thought the openers would have done the job.
An opening stand of 116 runs or so.
You would have thought the openers would do the job. So,
Yep.
whichever way you look at it,
There
you had imagined that Rohit Sharma would be hitting the winning run.
Hitting the winning runs at number 7. That's a small caveat that we had to add.
Well, he almost hit the winning runs batting at number 9 also once when he came with that webbing thing when he came to bat at number 9
Against Bangladesh.
Bangladesh. Almost did. We were what 4 runs shy, I think.
And that's about it.
What a shot! It runs to the boundary between mid-wicket and square leg. It is a 4 by Rohit Sharma, who finishes on 12, not out. Giving him company there was Ravindra Jadeja as India win the game by 5 wickets. So that was all the
How
live
come would you
commentary.
be commentating on that in those many words? But Rohit Sharma hitting the winning runs, but he was on 12.
Aja, today it is Thursday and 2 cricket matches were happening today. One was the 5th and final test in the Ashes. The other was the first ODI between India and West Indies. And what a contrasting pitch, cricket, style of batting that we have witnessed. On one end, you've had a test match. I repeat, a test match, which is being batted in a way of an ODI, where in 90 overs that have been played, about 340, 350, somewhere.
79 overs in fact.
341 runs.
341 runs in 79 overs. Typical ODI style that you saw in a test match happening at the Oval in London. And also why I'm stressing on Oval and London, because you consider those are the places where you would never get batting tracks. And then you are talking about a game that was a one-day game that happened in Bridgetown, Barbados, where you saw teams lose a total of 15 wickets, barely, short of even 250 runs.
232 runs in 46 overs, 15 wickets.
15 wickets. So there you have it. Very contrasting, very different to what most people would have imagined. But for the next half an hour, 40 minutes, we'll touch upon the Ashes as well. But our primary focus is going to be on the ODI game between India and West Indies, which India have now won by 5 wickets. And that is going to get a lot of tongues wagging, and I'm sure all of you have a lot of questions. We're also keen to talk about it, because if you remember in mid-innings, what was the general talk? India should have batted first. Why India should have batted first? India would have gotten batting practice, 300 runs, 320 runs, blah, blah, whatever said and done. None of that happened. That's why they say you should often judge a pitch not when one team has batted, when both teams have batted. And it was a tricky pitch to bat on. Anyway, India have scraped through with 5 wickets.
I mean,
floor is open.
If this experimentation was not there, this match would have been a dull, drab game, which India one-sided. But it was a one-sided victory.
No. You are saying
that we had gone according to
that because of the experimentation, it's become close. This game.
You have to scrap through.
Yeah, but what has experimentation got to do with it? You think Rohit Sharma would have batted as an opener? He would have creamed everything. Virat Kohli would have found it very easy. It was not an easy pitch to bat on, sir. You saw when Rohit came out to bat also.
In the amount of spin,
So how is it that the experiment changes? Are you telling me?
Would you normally bat Ishan and Surya?
They would not. But I'm saying, let's. If India had not experimented, if Rohit came out like that,
would have been a 9-wicket victory.
Would have been. He says it would have been a 9-wicket victory.
It would have been a win, obviously, but it would have been like
a win. तो even experimentation में हो गया.
7-wicket win. I still would have on this spinning track. I would have seen India losing the top 3, including let's say the man who usually bats at number 3. Wouldn't have been surprised if he.
So how much difference does it make? Let's say if you're going to win by 3 wickets, 5 wickets, how does it matter?
Yeah, it does.
You're going to win the match anyway. But all you did was gave opportunity to a lot of players, and I think the one real standout thing is that today Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, 2 of your senior batters, absolutely assured of their spot, gave up their batting positions. They didn't have to. They didn't have to do it. There was no compulsion. They decided to give their batting positions so as to allow a few players that are not certain of their spot in the team the opportunity to get runs. But I'm sorry to say, some of those players did not grab the opportunity. I agree that it was a spin-friendly track. I agree it wasn't going to be easy to bat. But Ishan Kishan made full use of it.
Yes.
He got a half century. You're going to remember the half century that he's got. And anyone who would have, grudged him his place in the 11 instead of Sanju Samson.
Not taking that away, albeit there was a catch of his dropped.
Yeah, but
just
capitalize on the chances.
Yeah, exactly. Just
today Harry Brooks' catch was dropped when he was on 5. Went on to get 85.
Yeah.
But you will remember 85, na?
Yeah, and that to the murderous onslaught.
So that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, you're going to remember he got to 52. I think Shubman Gill would be in a way upset.
Yes.
Because imagine, I'm not saying his position is under doubt or he's far from that, none of that.
Yep.
But he had not got runs in test matches.
Yeah.
I'm sure he must have been eager to get some runs under his belt, and white ball is where he has been really flourishing.
Yeah.
Really flourishing. That doesn't come for him today. Surya Kumar Yadav.
Problems.
yes.
Especially against left arm, both pace and spin. I mean, just let us have a breakdown on the
Last 4 dismissals in ODI.
0, 0, 0, 19.
Okay.
That too.
But that's a start. It's getting better.
So 3 matches, he got out first ball. LBW, bowled.
And caught.
LBW, no.
Today?
LBW is LBW.
LBW.
And I think he can't curb his ego because you look at the build up to the 3 balls prior to that. Sweep, tried to sweep. Oh, the bowler is dictating, okay, I will try and sweep. What happened?
Okay, just for the benefit of, let me give him some benefit of the doubt. That's what I'm saying, because when the ball sometimes is really turning, I think sweep is not a bad option.
It isn't.
I agree the way he got out. Maybe he could have looked at it certain way. But sometimes, for example, you just take a look at how the game finished, right?
Yeah.
Rohit was set. Okay. He had spent a few balls in the middle. And that winning run, you were tied. Winning run was needed. I think he spent about 4 or 5 balls not being able to get that winning run because was it Gudakesh?
It was Gudakesh Moti and Yannick Carey.
No, but at that both overs, Moti I think was bowling.
Gudakesh Moti,
And he was turning it. It was gripping. He found it tough. So how did he get the winning shot?
With a sweep shot.
Yeah.
But
that's your go-to shot. It's your attacking shot to get against, especially. And why? I'll just explain. Why is it that most of the time you say you play straight, but why is it when you sometimes sweep is not a bad option, especially when it's turning square. So you know that bounce is not a problem in this pitch. You play straight because you're not certain of the bounce, so you want maximum, face of the bat covering your thing vertically. So when the bounce is not an issue, you do that, which on most occasion you do, and you play spin like that. But I'm saying today when the ball is turning square, but bounce you can trust on the pitch, which the bounce was good on this way, then I think the sweep helps. It is fraught with risk, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, it needs execution. And I think, I think Surya, the problem is, he is better against pace at all counts. I mean, if you looked at the 2 boundaries and 6s he got, it was of Jayden Seals predominantly and also of Dominic Drakes. But he can spin. And again, remember the left arm angle. Either he's not able to read the drift or he's not able to read the length.
His dismissals before this?
I think the answer to that
I'll tell you. LBW, Stark getting the ball back in.
is the length.
Yeah. LBW, Stark coming back in Vizag also. Ashton
so
Agar.
then 2 fast bowlers now.
Agar, Ashton Agar, left armer, quicker delivery. Surya stayed on the back foot, missed it.
No, he was caught in 2 minds. He just couldn't read the length enough, and which is why he was just, and it was a nothing ball. It was a nothing ball. He just couldn't read
straight ball
the
that
line.
kind of drifted in from that angle. Same here. It drifted in from the angle, but it straightened. But what was
Which
it?
is why he was
A good
almost
length.
rooted to the ground. I remember he was just rooted to the ground. Couldn't read the line. The
Good length.
Is there a technical issue? Is there a mental issue?
I think Surya is not there. I mean, temperament and technical wise, I think he's good. I think there's no major flaws about him. I think it's the mental aspect. Reading that length. I think somewhere he's caught in that catch-22. Oh, if it's on a good or a fuller length, on the stumps, what do I do? I think there he gets caught in that cross shot. Because if you remember Adil Rashid, how he got him out. It was on a goodish length which spun away. And Surya, trying to clear the outfield, got the leading edge.
Though I agree. See, I mean, I said it at the start that Surya missed an opportunity.
Yeah.
It's not often that 2 senior players let go of their position and you're given a chance, as Surya was, and you don't make good use of it. Also, there wasn't too much of that pressure of a big chase. Imagine that big chase pressure also comes. Today, you didn't have to do anything. All you needed to do was spend time on the pitch. There was no need to get runs quickly. You could have been there, played it at your own pace as and when the run came. So, perfect opportunity to get runs. So, on that count, I think he's fallen short. And he should be criticized. The only benefit of the doubt I'll give him is that today it wasn't the easiest pitch to bat on, and he kept trying that sweep, as you mentioned as well. He kept trying. It wasn't paying dividends. But maybe he should have gone
Wouldn't
to
better
plan B.
batters then curb that ego and say, okay, I'll play conventional straight down the
That's what I'm saying. Because he had tried, sweep is not a bad option, but because he had tried it, I think 3 or 4 times before that. 4th time, in fact, in the over, he tried. The 4th time. Yeah, that I agree. Then that is not so much, I don't know, it's a mental issue then. Maybe you really then need to figure out a way to curb that.
Ego,
Also, I think now, I think Surya Kumar Yadav, and now if there is a sign of worry, it is Surya Kumar Yadav at the moment. Even if you want to take some notes out of this innings of his and this match, let's say, because you can't forget what had happened against Australia as well, and let's say the series before that in which we know he is struggling. It's a globally known fact now. With the World Cup now approaching, if this is what it's going to be like, I think Surya Kumar Yadav really is just left 2 more games now to really make a case and a place for himself.
Will he get the 2 more games now?
I think he will.
He will.
I think he will. But
yeah, also not fair on that one pitch you judge him now.
No, again, but you can make that, you can have that point, let's say, you can hold that point right now that, okay, it was a challenging pitch. There was just 150 in the entire match.
Yes.
But this will be forgotten, let's say, in another week's time, when you will, let's say, be looking at the entire series and the series before that, when you're sitting down looking at the numbers, and if he doesn't have enough numbers, then you're going to forget that this was a challenging track.
I wonder whether it
Vizag also, the entire team was folded for a very paltry total.
137.
Do we talk about that aspect that much? No, we talk about the amount of runs that he got.
No, that I agree. That at the end of the day, you're going to look at how many runs, and 2 days after we would have forgotten the condition. We would have just said, 0, 0, 0, 19. We wouldn't know that 19 comes in tough conditions, and he could have made use of it. As I said, Ishan Kishan did. I wonder whether it is that thing, or whether, because technically, and we discussed this earlier, I can't see a reason of a player who's good in T20 not succeeding in ODI, because at the end of the day, it's pretty much the same game, only it's more condensed. But there's no technical reason as such that I can attribute to. The only thing I can attribute his failure to in ODI compared to T20 is that maybe in T20 you play in one gear, and he plays in that one gear very well. But more importantly, I think the success that he's got in T20 cricket, the success, not the style of play, the success that he's got in T20 cricket may be hampering his growth in ODI cricket, and I'll explain that why. Because the success there means that at the moment he must feel like, if I'm Surya Kumar Yadav, I must feel like when I play T20 cricket that I can walk on water.
Yeah.
I'm that good, right? I'm more often than not, I dominate the bowlers. There's not too many bowlers that can keep me down. I get runs at a fast click. No matter what the required run rate, I have 4 shots for 1 ball, all of those things, and I can play it and I can do it. Now, when you come to an ODI, and especially in an ODI where sometimes the bowler is getting purchased out of the pitch, like today, then I think your same mindset is that I am Surya Kumar Yadav. I am the guy who's the destroyer of bowlers. I am the guy who has 4 shots or 5 shots for everything. So, let's say a lesser batsman would have been okay, like if he got beaten something, he would go into defense mode where he'll be like, no, this is tough situation. And mentally you go into defensive mode that no, I have to survive. The bowler's having a good time, I have to survive, I have to find a way till such time where I start timing. But in Surya's case, I don't think that comes into his mind. Because of his dominance in T20, he's like, I got beaten once, oh, don't worry, I am Sky. I am going to now whack him for 3 fours, 1 reverse sweep, 1 straight over cover, 1 ramp shot, and he does that. He does that. Yeah. So I think he's thinking that, and in which he's failing. I think somewhere maybe a senior player like a captain or coach has a conversation that it's okay. You're not Surya Kumar Yadav. Don't think of yourself as Surya Kumar Yadav, the man who can walk on water. Think of us as a newbie, a newcomer. You're just there to survive. The bowler is going to get, yes, you will get a few 4s just as a newcomer does. Focus on that. And I think that.
Yeah, I think, that gear change that he does. He's like kind of the anti-Sehwag if you have to look at it. Remember, Sehwag, brilliant dasher in ODIs and Tests, ODIs in particular. But T20Is he struggled.
No, but anti-Sehwag in performance maybe, but not anti-Sehwag in the thought process.
No. Performance, only performance.
But thought process, Sehwag was...
It's see ball, hit ball.
I think Sky is pretty much that.
Only thing, Sehwag used to have a limited zone. So he does it 360 degrees with Surya Kumar Yadav. That is the thing. And again, if you have to look at it, in T20Is, there's not enough time for the bowler to think. Because he has to contain the flow of runs first and then he can innovate.
Exactly. But
in ODIs, it gives you far more time to plan,
I think execute. It's the pace of the game that suits him much more in T20Is than in ODIs. ODIs, by the nature of it, it's not going to be as fast paced as T20 cricket is. Which is why he knows when he comes into bat, he only has to operate in 5th gear or 4th gear. Here, as the nature of this particular format is, you got to start from gear 1, move into 2, 3, 4. Here, it's sorted. Number 4, that's it.
Yeah.
It's that, I think.
Very surprising. I mean, a player of Surya's ability can't, adapt and change gear. It's very surprising.
Yeah, and maybe again the answer to that lies, as I kept saying earlier, that he's also captain Mumbai in Ranji Trophy. He's played a lot of ODI cricket. But if you remember, now that's the problem, right? It's like a trade-off in your superpowers. So I'll give an example. Let's say he was a Superman earlier who could play different formats, but his performance would be, middling or slightly better than middling, right? He would play T20 cricket. If you remember, he won a title with KKR. He was a good bat, he was a handy bat, he would contribute, but he wasn't like, he didn't have the wow factor. We all didn't go crazy. Okay, maybe, and this is a trade-off that happens on a lot of things. For example, if you try and spend a lot of time harnessing one skill, you can in some way lose the other skill, or it diminishes, because at one point the capability of a person, let's say mentally also, let's say 2 subjects, right? If I try and master history and I also enjoy physics, completely different subjects, but my mind can only retain a lot of one subject, so it's not that I cannot know both, but my expertise, if I'm trying to be mastering both, my expertise in both will fall down a few levels, whereas if I just concentrate on one, my expertise in that will go. So I'm saying here, he was a middling or slightly better than that version of Surya. Then there is another version of Surya that we see in the last 3 years or so, which is completely different, which is transforming T20 cricket, which has now got the X factor. We're saying, wow, this is something. But has it happened that because he focused on improving himself so much as a T20 cricket,
he forgot the
that
basics
his
in ODI.
power, will diminish. As I said, a capability or an ability sometimes remains the same. It's like, it's like a engine which has a certain amount of power. If you put it in one car, it will make that car run really fast. But as soon as you use the same engine to power two cars and two different cars, those cars will allow you to go on two different surfaces, because now it's going on two different parts, but the power level now will be divided between the two. So you may not be able to go as fast with one car. I don't know.
I'm now tempted to think, and I think I've grown, let's say, in terms of my conviction with this idea, and this is something that Rahul touched upon yesterday. Like we spoke of of Surya operating in certain gears, and T20 format, untouchable, can walk on water. Right now, he's having to spend time, and that's something that he's not been able to do. Why not only bring him in later on? Bring him at number 6, 7 perhaps, when there's only few balls left and there's only one way you have to go, hit those balls.
No, but then
what's wrong with that? Why
didn't he do that in Australia, against Australia?
He wasn't batting at 7, 6, 7.
5, 6. Still didn't work.
No, it's not a bad idea, but I'm saying that what you're actually doing, it is something that you can look at, but what you're actually doing is then, rather than Surya or a player, Surya slash a player trying to fit in to the team to make the team's balance right, you're looking at the other way. You're trying to fit in Sky and then see, okay, if the balance is right.
Is the balance going for a toss? I'm just saying.
Yes.
If from 4 you move him to number 6.
It will. I'll tell you why. It will. I'll tell you. See, it will, because once KL is back, he's going to start. In the team as a wicket-keeper batsman.
Yes, then of course
he is going to bat at 5, right?
Hardik
at 6, and Jadeja is going to be at 7.
Where will you fit Sky?
Unless you do that Sky bats at 6 and Hardik then goes at 4. He wouldn't mind doing that.
Hardik wouldn't mind.
Yeah, or KL goes 4, Hardik 5, or Hardik 4, and you could do that, and Sky bats at 6. It's not a bad option. Maybe something that they can look at, considering that he's a guy who doesn't take time. But even for that to happen, he would have to show a few quick fire runs in ODI cricket. My point is, what we just discussed is getting out because he's in a hurry, right? That's why he's getting out. So that means he's trying to play the T20 game anyway, but he's not getting none. So, where you can actually do that is that he plays few one-day games, he's getting you 19 ball, 35, 36, something like that. And he's doing it very often. And then you have a complaint with him that, listen, you're a number 4 batsman, boss. 35, 39s are not good enough. Yes, you're getting it at a 200 strike rate, but these are not good enough. A number 4 on certain occasions have to give you 80s, 90s, 100s, and you're not reaching there.
Yeah.
Then maybe this thought you look at that, listen, maybe he's not really cut out to do that in this avatar of his. So, but we do need a number 6 guy more often than not to play those 20 balls, give us 40. So then let's take in there. But even that has not happened. So I am saying, if he does show a few samples in ODI cricket, assuming going forward, where he is getting one game 20 ball 40, another game 20 ball 40, and you're saying, yeah, this guy is that only, so push him to 6, because he's still playing like that. It's not that he's trying to build an inning and he's getting out. He's still trying.
But would you then not be telling him, listen, Surya, if you can get 35 of 18, 19, just stay right there. This is exactly how we want you to play. But instead of 19, you play about 49 balls.
No, but that's when you're trying to ask him to change. Right now, you gave a suggestion that if he is this sort of a player,
19 balls, he will end up playing only when he's coming way
at 6. But I'm saying, yeah, for me to take that risk, if I'm taking him there, let him show me a few knocks like that in ODI. Na? But right now, he's going at number 4. He is playing in that thing. He's not playing it like he's not playing like a number 4, where he's thinking he'll bat 80 balls. He's not playing like that, right? How is he playing like? As if he's batting at 6. He's already batting like that. So let him play 3 or 4 knocks of those 20, 40s. At which point I realized, no, he's still got that nick, but he's batting in the wrong position.
Yes.
This 20, 40 is better suited at 6. But right now the problem is, he's not even getting 20s.
And
forget 40s.
This match was even more important because he may get only 2 more chances.
Exactly.
I don't think he's making the
Not beyond. See, if there isn't enough runs for him after the third
After
ODI,
the
yes, you
Trinidad
really
ODI.
got to take a call. And you really have to, because now you have a proper sample size. And you can't say, and you won't be met with that criticism also. And it'll be very unfair to people to dish out that criticism to the team management and the BCCI. If you say that, okay, you've not given Surya our best
No, he will play. I
But
think.
again,
even beyond 3 ODIs.
It will be tough.
yeah.
It'll be tough.
But again, the
It'll be
very
tough.
definition of a long rope and who gets that has totally changed in the past couple of. We don't know
It
who's getting
changed
what.
just this.
We don't know who is getting what.
Evening.
And see, Surya is making it to the World Cup, but he's not starting in the 11. He's there in the 15. For sure, because you need a backup to Shreyas Iyer. Iyer slots back in for the Asia Cup. Because looking at the way how Iyer has his tempo in ODIs, for Indian conditions, he'll be key. He reads spin better also.
No, Iyer though anyway.
Yeah.
As soon as
Yeah.
he's fit, he's coming
and
back.
your logic about Surya at 6, who goes out? Because your 11, I'm telling you right now, everybody is fit. Your 11 is going to be Rohit, Shubman, Virat, Iyer. Then you got KL Rahul. Then Hardik Pandya, Ravindra Jadeja.
Yeah.
Then you got / Kuldeep or Chahal.
Which is why I'm saying
Yeah.
all these matches are a good chance for anyone who wants to stake any sort of claim
Exactly,
to
yeah.
get runs.
Yeah.
One unfortunate bit, as I said, turned out for a lot of these batters is that the pitch really wasn't that
Yeah.
easy to bat on. It was, Gurukesh Moti was Dan Vettori today.
Yeah, or
It's
Monty
like-
Panesar. Yeah.
Or Monty
I mean,
Panesar
the
was
way how
tough.
he bowled one delivery to Rohit was same what.
Even the leggy.
Yannick Carrier.
Hardik Pandya looked all at sea today against spin.
Yep.
All at sea against spin.
Out of this, whatever you can take, the major thing, your Indian top order still struggles against quality spin. That's a big amber light.
Did it feel like, I don't know, to me it quite felt like this is Ekana in Lucknow.
Oh.
It's pretty much,
I was reminded of it.
Yeah.
I was reminded of it.
this
briefly,
reminded me
yes.
so much of Ekana. So England is the opposition India will be playing.
You got Moeen,
Start warming your hands.
Moeen
Moeen and
Adil.
Adil, the spin twins.
Woo.
And plus, you got a local guy also playing for England, Mark Wood, LSG.
On Adil Rashid's name, our producer Shivam is sweating already. He said, Adil Rashid is sweating.
Yeah. Plus Mark Wood. He will be a handful
We
on the
know
deck
what
and
Adil
all.
Rashid did in that T20 game.
Yeah.
That semi-final.
Yeah. He got rid of Sky.
Sky got it out.
Yep.
Yeah, and troubled Rohit big time.
That match.
Yeah. You want to whitewash that? Or you want to whitewash interacting?
There was a comment which I missed the name, sorry, but it said, "Arey, why are you guys talking about Surya Kumar Yadav getting out? It wasn't Sky, it was Samsung who got out."
Oh yeah, that jersey.
That's true.
By the way, Samson failed.
No, but by the way, I saw a lot of chatter on social media where people are saying, he's wearing a Samsung's jersey. Maybe it's like a tribute or trying to make a point. Tribute to you're retiring, but making a point that why have you left Samsung? Please do not fall for any such post. There's nothing like that. It's quite often that you have players swapping jerseys. Someone's jersey is not ready or has been misplaced or something or the other. Then you end up wearing somebody else's.
Are people saying on social media that he's leading some sort of a mutiny or some sort of a revolt?
Conspiracy theories. We will never
Surya
get.
Kumar Yadav is not in a place to revolt.
Exactly.
He'd be like, let me guarantee myself my spot first. Then I'll see. You run a.
He's not Kyron Pollard, who can do all these kind of antics on the field.
You make a union when you are the union leader. But he has to take
You are
time.
like, right now he's applying for the membership.
Exactly.
Approval of the membership.
Anyway, Mumbai and union leadership, a lesson in failure. Please.
Union leaders, the best ones come from Kolkata.
Of course. And Kerala.
And Kerala too. That's true. That is true. By the way, have you guys seen Oppenheimer?
I haven't had the time.
Not yet.
Brilliant film. And it's all about the left versus right politics.
Oh yes.
As I enjoy that a lot.
There are also some memes doing the rounds that you must just revisit your physics before you watch the movie.
No, not
a
at
little bit
all.
of geography
Not
as
at
well, World War
Not
II.
at all. I wasn't a science student, but I generally have interest in physics. Now, not so much when I was a student. But you don't really need to know your physics. It's pretty simple. No, they're not complicated. Not at all. It is one of the most least complicated Christopher Nolan film. The only thing with the film is it's quite linear. Firstly, it does have two storylines running, but that's still okay compared to his multiple storylines also running at different pace. It's not like that. Two storylines running is a pretty much simple narration that happens even in Indian movies. So it's not tough. The only thing is it's very fast. So it's a 3-hour film.
Oh.
So imagine a 3-hour film sometimes can be slow and drab because it's the subject. Yet it is so pacey. It is so much packed into that 3 hours because of the detailing that they've gone into his life and his biopic. That the film is 3 hours, but the pace of it is frantic.
And plus
frantic.
Two major topics in the Manhattan Project. Endless literature on that. Plus the atomic bombings. That also you got endless literature on it. Plus the Joseph McCarthy era.
Yeah.
All that. McCarthyism was dominant in the 50s, and Robert Oppenheimer felt the worst of it also.
Yeah.
So I'll try and see it on Tuesday.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant film. Awesome film. I loved it.
Yep.
But it's long and it packs in a lot of things.
I'll
And
try
it's
and see
not
it.
complicated at all.
I'll try and see it on a Tuesday.
Yeah, but do watch it in IMAX.
Sure.
The whole fun of that is in IMAX because you can really feel, especially the sequence of when that first atomic explosion happens. The way he's done it. Have you seen Dunkirk? Have anyone of you seen Dunkirk?
I've heard. I
And I
haven't.
watched it on IMAX.
So he's taken a concept out of Dunkirk. I mean, Dunkirk was about 3 events happening at the same time at different paces. So he's done similar for that sequence, but just for that sequence.
Okay.
For the first atomic reaction, he's taken it, whereas it's at different paces, being viewed by different people,
Right.
and so at a different pace. So
But Dunkirk I found a bit slow.
Dunkirk was slow. Because again it's the same event being shown to you in 3 different ways. So I agree. This one, the pace is frantic. It's unrelenting. It's so fast. The timeline's moving so fast, and it has so many. It's more of a massy film that Nolan has made. Nolan otherwise makes very niche kind of a. But this is a massy film because it's got a massy story. It has massy dialogues. It has those massy moments where like in Bollywood, like bada dialogue, or people will clap. It has that kind of
those elements.
Those elements, like hero versus villain, and tu main mein, and dialogue will be mera ye dialogue to uska wo. Mera ye to uska wo. Which is a typical massy film type.
Rajnikant style.
Yeah, it's that. So
I'll see because I'm more interested in the subject matter. I mean,
it's only about the subject. There's not. It doesn't.
Especially the atomic
divert.
bombings, the Manhattan
Doesn't divert,
Project
and it has a lot of the left versus the simmering leftism in US, which wasn't allowed to flourish because of
the witch hunt that Joseph McCarthy had unleashed.
Correct. Yes. So it does have that, and it does show that because Oppenheimer had left leanings, he wasn't part of the Communist Party, but was a left leaning individual, and that's why he pays a price. So it also talks about the underground left movement of the US at the time versus their right politics. So it's interesting if you see it, because they are very wary of Russia being communist, and it's just going to be the start of the Cold War and so on and so forth. So it's the subplot is interesting.
I'll see. Maybe on Tuesday or Wednesday. I'll see.
Okay, let's take a few questions.
I have expected GGK to come up.
What is he come up with?
Ishan is death and career destroyer. His 200 ended Shikhar. Now finished wicket-keeping career of Sanjay.
By the way, this line from the Gita has been used. Just to give you a bit of it's not used once. It's used multiple times. Twice, definitely I remember, but I think 3 times in all. But I was also reading somewhere an Indian scholar saying that it's actually not translated really well. So it doesn't effectively, the actual Sanskrit line doesn't effectively means what it's been taken. But he doesn't blame, because the word used, that Sanskrit word used at that time, means 2 things. So if you're going to do a literal translation, you may read it like this. Whereas if you see it in context, and Sanskrit scholars would be able to tell you, then it doesn't quite translate into this. But that happens with most translations, like whether it's Latin or something, you go with a literal translation. especially when there is a word that means two things.
Sometimes it misses the context or the foreground.
If I'm not mistaken, I forget another thing. The word is karma, and it is not so much death, but it also means something else. So I'll revisit it. I'm not sure, but I read a Sanskrit scholar's explanation on it, saying that it's not the real thing, but a lot of English literature has made this mistake when translating this. But the context is very different. So that, but that wasn't my favorite line by of the. I know this is the most spoken about, but there are a couple of dialogues that are like blockbuster. One of them is, he says that average or mediocre people chase the sun and get destroyed. Power always stays in the shadows. So it's a very interesting line.
Very deep.
Yeah, very deep, but it's a brilliant line. It's my favorite line from the film. Brilliant. And there are a few dialogues between Matt Damon and Oppenheimer. By the way, I must tell you, there was a question on Sports Today, and I want to answer that. There was a question who you're going to choose between Oppenheimer and Robert Downey Jr.
Yes.
Right? Between the two actors.
Yeah.
There was a question.
Cillian
Murphy and Robert Downey Jr. Yeah. And even though Cillian Murphy is the protagonist, and I don't want to tell you guys what Robert Downey Jr. is, but he plays a very important role. I'm telling you now, Robert Downey Jr. is your best supporting actor this Oscar. I'll lose anything if he doesn't win that.
Wow.
I'll lose anything if he doesn't win that.
Fantastic.
So when you see the film, you know.
Big words.
He's not the most lovable guy in the film, but he's the guy who's nailed it. Yep. Everyone will look at the protagonist, obviously.
Either on Tuesday or Wednesday.
But he's got a smaller role. And what a star cast, yeah. So Robert Downey Jr. is there. He's got a decent amount of role. Yeah. There is Matt Damon, as I said. Wow. He's got enough. There's that Rami Malek who played Freddie Mercury in the film. The guy who played Freddie Mercury looked exactly like Freddie Mercury. Oh. Have you seen the biopic of no. Freddie Mercury? You must see it. Brilliant film. And I saw it because he's Indian, right? Indian connection and all that. Yeah. So the guy who played Rami Malek, he looked exactly. He's also there. He's got a short part in the film. I was like, it's a better actor. He just played a hero somewhere and gets like 3 scenes and all. So,
time to end my Hollywood. One was here. I already ended in Mumbai.
Questions. Back to cricket. Sorry.
Okay. SP Roy is saying, I call this overbacking. You want them to score runs just to justify selection. Will they be batting at these positions if they play in the World Cup? No. I totally agree.
He didn't want the change. I voted for the change. It was suggested by one of our subscribers, and I thought it wasn't a bad opportunity, because what is it that I'm going to learn from Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli? Yeah? If you won this match by 2 wickets or 5 wickets, how does it matter? I want to see now. You went into this series looking for answers. Isn't that something that we kept saying? Yeah. So I've begun to get answers on Ishan Kishan. He got a 50 right today.
Yeah.
I've begun to get answers about Suryakumar Yadav. He failed right today.
Yeah, he failed.
So I'm getting answers. If you had sent the same batting order and assuming Rohit and Virat finished it off, what would I learn about Ishan Kishan and him playing this game? What would have I learnt of Suryakumar Yadav playing this game? I've learned something, na? That's what I want. That's what these one days are for. So I'm all for the experiment. I thought it was a great idea. I didn't think the Indian team, quite honestly, when that was suggested by GGK, I was excited with it. I thought it's a good suggestion. But I also said that I don't think Indian team will do it because they'll follow the set template. Why make any changes? I was so happy they did. So happy because I want these series and I want some answers before the World Cup. I don't want any of those experiments to happen while the World Cup. Do it now. Do some more. I'll know. So then when you do not pick, in case you reach a scenario where you do not pick Suryakumar Yadav in the squad, I wouldn't be aggrieved. I'd be like, okay, yeah, I did see him in 3 matches. He didn't. I think he got enough chances. Fair enough.
We have seen how experimentation impacts the Indian cricket team. There have been 2-3 World Cups that have happened.
Yeah, but I'm saying do it now. No, it's better now.
Actually,
then
in that
Para drop somebody there.
See, now
at number 4.
It's good that you're doing the experiment before a tournament and not hoping that you will not do it there.
It's a forced thing because a lot of your key players aren't there.
So that is why you can do it.
Fine.
If those players are there, then how would you do it? That is why.
That's why I'm saying just 10 more ODIs after the West Indies series. I think play with that core and stick with them until November 15th.
See, once you're done with this series, you're looking at
Asia Cup.
And you've got to
Australia.
stick to, yeah.
That's it.
You've got to
Shobham
stick to
Sai.
that.
Shobham Sai is saying, I am expecting a column from Sunny Ji saying that India tried youngsters in the most important format of this year.
Because you're saying, is he being sarcastic or is he mean?
I think he's not.
He's not.
He's
I
not.
think
Because
he's not.
because Sunny said that what is this?
That you
Why
will-
did so he?
Yeah.
You think that maybe that Sunny Ji's column about Test cricket and saying what are you going to learn about those two guys hit home,
Perhaps.
and they said he's right. Lest he writes another column where you wouldn't have learnt anything as I'm saying about Rohit and Virat.
Yeah.
You tried the youngsters. He's right, Shobham. And by the way, don't think I'm saying it jokingly. When a player of the stature of Sunny Ji writes
You listen.
and things happen.
Yeah.
If you go back in the past, there have been times where if criticized or praised a player, it has cost him or gifted him a selection. Whichever way. Because that's the kind of weight he has. So that has happened. That happens in Indian cricket.
Yep.
It may happen in any other sport. If Diego Maradona would pass a comment about a player in Argentina,
You're bound to take him seriously.
yeah, if he said he likes a player, if he's on the fringes, he'll definitely make the national team. If he says no, this guy is overrated, if he's on the fringes, he might get dropped from the team.
Exactly.
That's what happens when greats say something. So I wouldn't put it past the column to have made this impact, or what he says on Sports Today also.
Yep.
Things have come true once he said that.
Which he will in shortly.
Yeah.
वेस्ट इंडीज में
Asia Cup.
बाकी कोई कंट्री के प्लेयर सुनते हैं अपने बड़ों की वेस्ट इंडीज वाले नहीं सुनते चल रहे हैं
West Indies, but West Indies sunte bhi hai kya? You have to see, it's not sunte. There is not much money there. What will a player do? Why did a Gale, Pooran,
Pooran's
Narine,
playing
all of
in
them?
MLC right
Because
now.
they are not paid like contracts of Indian players.
Yeah. I mean,
They
don't
get all
don't
of-
revisit that video
They're
that
getting all
Harshit
of
did.
4 lakh rupees for a test match. Here in India, you're paid 4 lakh rupees to play a T20. That's the kind of gulf in the pay grade.
And so everyone is there. See, everyone knows a short span in your professional life as a sportsman.
Yeah.
And you-
5 years, 6 years, 7, 10 years if you're very lucky and you're fantastic. You got to make all your life's earning.
And it depends from where you come. Everyone would remember, especially football fans out there, you would remember this very well because Alex Song once played for Arsenal and then at a young age he was given this contract by Barcelona. Didn't think twice. Took it like, I was going to make so much of money, I could have, provided electricity. and
Don't
whatnot
mention
to the entire
Arsenal and
village.
Barcelona. 4-2, Arsenal won. This morning.
Yeah, I'm just saying
This
that that's what happens when you're given those kind of contracts, and it depends where you come from as well. At times you have the privilege to deny, but and most occasions you don't. You are obviously thinking of yourself, your family, and your future generations.
Exactly. Why we? Why we? Why me?
Why we?
Why is Sky playing ODIs? Why we? Exactly. Long road to KL given in 2022, which became a noose, has now turned into a time loop. Same mistakes.
No.
Although KL, no. I think he
What
turned
are
the
you
corner in
saying?
2023.
Why
Why
we?
we?
Why we? KL walks into your ODI team. He will walk into your ODI team when he comes back because he is now a wicket-keeper batter that you're looking at. His record at that position is also very good.
At number 5 in
Do not
particular,
mix formats. I agree. He is not.
T20
I don't even have to
ICC
agree.
meaningful.
He is not part of your Test team or your T20 team.
Yes.
But ODI definitely comes in. On that front, Sky, I would, if I'm a supporter of the Indian cricket team, right? I want the best talent to play. And you like it or not, Sky is a rare talent. He is a rare talent. He's not related to me that I have to sit here and,
Advocate for him.
advocate or sing praises. Don't have to. It's just that when I see him bat, he gives me so much joy. I'm sure he gives a lot of joy to all of you guys with the audacity of his stroke making.
Yep.
Incredible.
Mr.
It's
360.
incredible. Why wouldn't I want an X factor like that to be part of the team, right? You need such crazy X factor players. I think he can succeed. But sure enough, I agree.
Yeah.
And some people who show that kind of ability, they are given a longer rope than the others. I'm sorry, but that's how sport works. That's how sport works anywhere across the globe, across different sports. Someone more talented or that you see more potential, you give him a longer rope. Somebody else, there's no fixed rule now that everyone will get 10 matches and if your average reaches this level, then you stay. If it doesn't, it does not stay. Everyone got different yardsticks to be measured, and that's where you have certain wise men, whether that's your captain, your coach or your selectors, who make those decisions. So you follow that. I have no problem in Sky getting that. I'm a big admirer of Sky and his batting, but I agree, if it doesn't really work for him despite many chances, then he will anyway be left by the wayside.
Yep, because as Saurav Mukherjee is saying, and nothing sarcastic about this, Sky didn't win anything significant. We have created a bubble that is waiting to burst. Stop this hype, it's taking us nowhere.
He's won IPL title to two different teams, if I'm not mistaken.
Mumbai and...
But see, where is the hype right now around Sky? Is there any hype
And
around him at the
if
moment?
he's not won anything internationally, then that's not, the Indian team has not won it.
The Indian team hasn't...
So what is he?
He's been in that era when the Indian team hasn't won anything. That's the
See,
problem.
right now with Sky, there is a lot of worry in fact. There is no hype at the moment. There is hype when he walks into, the stadium
IPL
wearing an
or
IPL
T20.
jersey.
And by the way, his
the
hype,
Mumbai Indians jersey.
even in T20, his hype is real. I
Yes,
was there at the
not
T20
right now.
World Cup in Australia. You had to see how many people come to watch him.
Yeah.
I mean, on a
that
very-
hype
You
is
shared
real.
that with us over here only, that after, let's say, MS or Virat, you had somebody walk
Sky.
into the stadiums, and in fact, bulk of those guys were there to see Surya.
In the most difficult of pitches in Perth, he was the one who stood head and shoulders above the rest.
No, and see, you can gauge from the audience reaction. Now, when I sit in a stadium, for the Indian team, like when I went for IPL, you could see for Dhoni people. When I was there for the T20 World Cup in Australia, people go crazy for Virat. No surprise there. People are going crazy for Surya Kumar Yadav. So he's left an impact, right? So that hype is not just a gas balloon made up. It's real.
It's real, but the only thing is the balloon is now facing a bit of turbulence.
Sure.
In a different
If it does
atmosphere altogether, if you have to use the Sky terminology in a way. So Crick Mania is saying, MYR, where is that from?
Myanmar?
Myanmar? I don't know. Did India do the same things?
Malaysia? No.
Oh yeah, could you Malaysia ringgit?
Malaysia ringgit. That's
ringgit,
correct.
yeah. Didn't India do the same things last year? Trying too many things just before the World Cup, shuffling the team and their positions, major deja vu.
No.
No, but they did it while the World Cup was happening. They had 3-4 different guys play at
They
number
were
4.
doing it much before they were doing
Dinesh
it. Even the World
Karthik
Cup
played, Vijay Shankar played.
Vijay Shankar. You're saying
I'm
2019.
talking, no, I'm going 2015.
Shankar
No,
was
19, sorry, 19.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry, 19, England
19,
World Cup, yeah. So, they tried.
Even 22, when we were experimenting all the way until the match against Pakistan. Only then we finalized our 11 there. So, yeah, I do get your thing, Crickmania. Yes, it is major.
Right now, it is somewhere.
No, but right now I'm okay with the experiment.
Right now, I'm okay, and right now we also know, let's say, that there are a couple of guys waiting in the wings of senior pros who are straight walk-ins.
If I don't see them now, when will I see them?
Exactly, which is why this experimentation, rather this is not experimentation, these are forced experimentations.
Finding out answers.
But this is fine,
Yeah. Jayant Jha is like saying, why should we fit a guy? Look at his list A record. He played 20 matches with an average of 20. Where other player is warming bench, be balanced.
No, but as I said, his T20 performances are going to be taken into account. It happens. We fix, and this I think T20 ODI is still not a change. We have picked test players based on IPL form. Also. So
Go down, Shum. Sky finds it difficult to rotate, so that's what Annamalai is saying.
Annamalai University is it?
That's a university, but
I know that in
it's
Chennai.
a name also.
Is it?
Annamalai also it's a name of a DT.
So that's how the university was named. Obviously, it's a name.
It's
Chalo,
It was the hotbed of a lot of activities in the 70s. And
Ajay,
80s.
I'm not going
Yeah.
there. Please answer the question.
Mr. Shekhar.
could it also be the Super Cop?
Super Cup Annamalai.
Yeah,
I don't know about him.
I'll tell you.
Yeah. Mr. Shekhar is saying every Indian great.
No, answer first Annamalai's question.
Yeah, I mean, I said yes. He does find it. He can't curb his ego. He struggles to
Yeah,
rotate
we explained
strikers.
that. We explained that in detail earlier
Yeah.
in the program. Just rewind and see it. We spent about 7-8 minutes
7-8
talking
minutes,
about it.
yeah. Mr. Shekhar from the US is saying every Indian great has at least one memorable match-winning knock versus Pakistan. Okay. Sorry to say, Sky is yet to produce a special versus genuine pacers of Pak. But how much has he
Played against
them?
Pakistan.
I think only thrice. Asia Cup
Asia
and the
Cup,
World Cup.
twice in the Asia Cup and once over here. 2020.
Yeah, he did struggle. I mean, I'm not denying that, Mr. Shekhar. Yes, he did
But
struggle.
genuine pace, he's played against
mean, if I have to
English
look-
bowlers. He's played against
T20
South
World Cup,
African bowler.
Perth on that minefield
Yeah.
of a track, he hit the
Track.
50.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, see,
when
what if he
everyone
does
was
well?
like jumping.
Yeah. What if he does well in this, if he's picked? What if
I
he
don't
does
think
well
pace
on
is an
450?
issue with him.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Spin might be an issue. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Spin might be an issue.
To some extent,
Pace, he
yes.
relishes. Yeah, all he has to do is get bad on ball.
I mean, Jaden Seals, the fours and sixes he hit was of Jaden Seals predominantly. So that's why. Shubham Garg is saying 4 fielders in T20 versus 5 fielders in ODI in circle. No easy singles, makes it difficult for Sky. That's why after 2-3 dots, he goes for a risky shot.
Absolutely. That's
Correct.
exactly Shubham we pointed out. And also it is that whole persona that maybe is living in his head that I'm Sky. You know, how is it that bowlers dominate me? I think
Yeah.
that maybe is undoing.
See, that frustrates even somebody like a Virat Kohli. Let's not forget.
No, but Virat, credit to him.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He curbs it.
Curbs it. Exactly. He still, stays disciplined enough.
He knows at the end of the day, when I walk off the field, it's the score that's reading that counts.
Yes.
Nobody remembers that I got beaten by a rookie spinner 4 times. Doesn't matter. You're walking off the field, there is 94 written against your name.
Yep.
People will clap.
Absolutely.
He knows that.
Yes. Abhijit Satyanarayanan is saying, sorry, Ishan didn't destroy Sanju's career. If he wants to, he needs to prove as middle order.
Yeah, we made that point earlier.
Yeah.
Ishan, I think, and you know that, and that's probably the reason that they sent him. I do not think he's competing for a middle order slot.
Yeah.
That middle order slot is going to go to KL Rahul when he comes. Ishan will be the backup opener
Yes.
only.
Yep.
And can also offer you wicket keeping in case you don't
Yeah.
go with KL in the middle order and try and fit somebody else. Let's say Sky has a greater, I don't know, whichever way you look at it. Which is why they played him there. I agree, he's not destroyed his career at all. Yeah.
Karthik K is saying, is Indian management trying to fit in Sky and KL? Reject Sanju? No, I don't think so.
I see again, Sky and Sanju not competing.
Yeah.
KL, Sanju competing, yes.
Yes.
But KL has been ahead, and this is something we spoke earlier, that KL, whenever he's fit, because he was a regular part of the ODI team, will come in once he's fit. So you
Yep.
do. But I agree to a degree. I'm not saying the Indian management is doing it on purpose, but had Sanju played these matches and got runs, their decision of having KL just walk in directly into the 11 would have been
dodgy ground.
would have been tough to
Tough.
make. Tough
Yeah.
call
But
to
it's a
make.
good problem to have, no?
Yeah, but sometimes you don't want that good problem.
But see,
You
that
have
is
to
the
only. You
problem.
can only play one. What do you do?
You're, in fact, you know what you. I
Your
think what this
problem
does
of
is now
plenty-
you will say.
Yeah, you're
now
talking
you will
an
say that
idealistic thing.
Ishan Kishan will now have some game time also. With Sanju, you will then again be circumspect, saying that no, he doesn't even have game time. Ishan, chalo, he's got some game time. Be it at the top of the order, but if not KL Rahul, then you can look at Ishan as well because
Yeah, but you
he's
still
got
need a
some
middle
runs, he's
order
got a
bat.
50, he's got game time.
Arey, but middle order, you need a batsman. Na Sky is not getting runs.
This is
you
your
don't know
problem
Shreyas
of
Iyer when he's
plenty
fit.
problem. This is the
Yeah,
problem
that's
of
what I'm
plenty
saying.
problem. Because there are too many people for 1 or 2 spots. And how has the BCCI managed to do that? And how have they managed the players? I'm sorry, it's a very dodgy record.
Riju Bhattacharya is saying, are these shuffles being done so that easy pathway is made for Rahul and Iyer on return without competition?
Just 2 minutes back, we spoke about it.
Yeah, but as I said, I find hard to believe that someone is going to be conspiring
Yeah.
in the Indian to do that. In fact, I think the chances given is an indicator that you want them to succeed.
Yep.
But if you don't grab, as I said, you didn't grab that opportunity. Sanju, I agree, didn't get a chance.
Yeah.
Sky did. Grab that
Exactly.
opportunity.
Yep.
Ishan Kishan did. He kind of grabbed that opportunity. If you do not get runs, then they of course walk in. It's in your hands.
It's a catch-22. I mean, if he scores, Ishan Kishan scored a double 100 but didn't get many chances after that. When he came back struggling for form, now he's gotten a 50. Sanju, 350s on the trot, didn't get a chance since November 2022. What do you do then? That's the problem. How do you manage this problem of plenty? You are finding this out now.
Talking about problems, Saurav Mukherjee has a
Yeah,
problem.
Saurav Mukherjee, that's our problem. We want X factors. And to fit them, we keep on switching the goalpost. Pandya, Bumrah, Sky, and the list goes on. Is it a reality show?
It is a reality show. So what is cricket?
Without
It's
the cameras, it
entertainment,
is a reality show.
It is
In a
a,
odd twist
it
of
is
way.
cricket is entertainment. Now, what do you watch cricket for? Is it a matter of life and death? Is it a scientific experiment
It's
that will
life.
take mankind to the next level?
It's life. It's
It's
as
sport.
complicated as it can be.
It's sport, and you judge different people differently.
Yeah, that's the problem. Mr. Shekhar from the US is saying, my point was performing versus Park is a special achievement. It's an occasion.
Sure,
Sky failed in 2020
It-
versus Hassan Ali.
it happens rarely. That's why we cherish it. Now
Yeah.
he's played a few matches. Yeah, he's
Agreed.
not.
All your point is agreed. But again, 3 matches, I think it's too small a sample size. Maybe let's see if he's picked on October 15th. Hopefully at the Narendra Modi Stadium. What happens? Let's see.
Yeah, let's take some regular ones also. Don't have to take. Oh, the line from our producer Shivam is like, you're talking about Pakistan. He says Pakistan ke liye sirf Virat hi kafi hai.
Sirf Virat hi kafi.
Thought I'll share it with everyone, na Shivam?
Yeah.
They should also know.
Yep. Sirf Virat.
Citizen,
Akela Virat hi kafi.
Citizen is a fan of Manchester City.
Yeah.
He says Indian batters might also struggle against Shadab Khan. Just realize he's such a quality
Yes.
spinner. You are right.
Yep, Shadab.
You're right, Citizen. But firstly, we don't know when that
Shadab
match
was-
will take place. We don't know till today.
We know where it will take place. When is the question?
They are saying that the venue will not change.
It will not change.
I know
That's
it
said
can't.
too often now
It
and
can't.
from credible people now.
I agree it won't change.
Maybe
Agree
that-
it won't change. But in
But
2-3
Shadab,
days.
if I'm not wrong, was good in the Asia Cup as well.
Yeah.
So he's
He's with a bat also.
Yes.
And a brilliant fielder that he had.
he's
Yeah. By the way, the meeting happened, the BCCI meeting happened today. So we've got to wait for another couple of days, 2-3 days to know the final World Cup schedule. So looks like it that the India Park date may be changed
and a few more.
or maybe not changed.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Or a
The
few more
discussion-
might
Or a
change.
few more games. But I thought that is a. I don't know. I'm not too sure whether.
How can, did
I-
they?
You really
know.
think that other countries, because the BCCI has come up with this thing, that other countries have also expressed reservation about few dates.
Yeah.
Dates.
Yeah.
Yes.
As touring sites.
Yes.
Yes.
But what could it be?
I don't know. Some days not suited for
See,
them.
this was a dedicated window for the World Cup anyway.
But my point is, when you made this schedule, you had consulted. You had made a
Didn't you consult all
blueprint.
your
That
stakeholders?
blueprint goes and it's everyone does. And also, once the schedule made, it's made. Yeah, you can't pick and choose when I want to play. All countries will not decide
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
it. It's done in a transparent
who's to
process.
say-
The ICC does it. The host board does it. Decided, done, shut.
And
Who's to say that the reworked schedule will be perfect to the T?
No, but they want it their way.
For every team, I'm saying. From a
I cannot.
I'm
It's
just
by the way the
baffled.
shambles. It's
I'm
in
baffled.
shambles.
Firstly, you took so much time, and with only 100 days to go for the World Cup, you released the schedule. Now,
That in itself was
that
shambles.
was shambolic. That's the first sign of shambolism. Second, your secretary, BCCI secretary, hails from Ahmedabad, isn't he? He forgot the basic fact that on October 15th it is going to be Dandiya and Garba in Ahmedabad, and he had to schedule that match.
See, it's a poor reflection of the entire BCCI, just the BCCI, let's say, and the concerned stakeholders, not just one person, let's say.
It is-
but as a unit.
It is, forget the unit. Now by this, it is a clear-cut indication that the BCCI and the Indian Cricket Board, all the stakeholders, do not care about the Indian cricket fan one bit. Now imagine, just you or Nikhil or I, suppose, we as ordinary fans, okay, we have already made, okay, October 15th, schedule is out, let's book hotels, let's book flight. Now these guys are saying, oh, we might have to change it. Imagine the costs that will incur in rescheduling everything. Because how much is a flight ticket? Because all the hotels and the airlines at a particular opportune moment, they indulge in profiteering of the highest order. So, as an Indian cricket fan, you are left out to dry. You saw the visuals in the IPL. There was a stampede for the tickets, which shows how primitive your ticketing system is.
At the Chepauk, huh?
No, even at Ahmedabad.
Even before
even in
the
Ahmedabad, yes,
World Cup
yes.
has started, I'm sorry, but it's not a great advertisement for
It isn't.
the World Cup. And the organizing, as Siddharth said, first to release the schedule so late, that itself wasn't great. And now you're saying you'll even change the date. I'm sorry, it does not show you in good light.
Just a slight premonition. Imagine the number of fans they had to face a lot of problems when the third test was shifted from Dharamshala to Indore at the 11th hour.
Yes.
Everybody had to change their flights, they had to shell out so much money. Very poor. I mean, I am, as a cricket fan, if I'm from India, I'll be very aggrieved with it.
And I mean, my point is, today the BCCI, and I'm sorry to get political, but you know, the secretary of the board, sometime what happens, that BCCI wants some sort of help, but the government isn't forthcoming.
Yes.
Right? You need a lot of, I can agree that it's not. In this scenario, the BCCI secretary happens to be the son of the Home Minister. Surely he can get some, you know, assistance from the central government, whether it's the central agencies, this and that.
Yep.
You can work on a war footing here. It's your country's prestige and image at stake. You don't want the world to see that, oh, there was a festival and they could not organize a cricket match alongside a festival. Country which is perceived to be a superpower in the future can't organize two things together. I'm sorry, I mean, should be the laughing stock of the world if you can't
Already we are the laughing stock. I mean, now you are mulling changes.
That too, by the way, a sport which is hailed the most in the country, celebrated the most in the country.
And you are mulling the changes now, and 2-3 days later there will be confirmation. And what is 2-3 days later? August. And when is your World Cup beginning? October 5. Hardly 60 plus days. Hardly.
Just about 60, yeah.
31 plus 30, that's 61 plus 4. 65 days. 65 days to go, and you're going to change the schedule.
Disappointed.
Do say Shat Naman. Indeed.
On that note, on that disappointing note, we're going to wind up for tonight. We've been on for very long, but in case you're joining us right now, do go back, check out. We've had a detailed discussion about Surya Kumar Yadav, and the reasons we think it's not working, what the future holds for him. We had a detailed discussion about India's experiments today, whether they work or not. There is a meme doing the rounds that Shivam is wanting us to show you, all of you guys who are joining us. This is Wasim Jafar's tweet where he's saying the Indian team deciding their batting order today. Of course, this is in good humor, but we've discussed it in detail. What do we make of the experiments? Ishan, Kishan, spin bowlers, all of it. A lot was discussed in the last 1 hour or so that we were live. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining. Don't forget to subscribe to Sports Today. Press that bell icon because that's when you get to know our latest updates. There'll be updates coming in. World Cup's around the corner.
Yes.
For the moment,
Nandri,
from
good night.
Harshit or Mohit, who's he?
I think he's more Harshit today.
Harshit, Siddharth and me.
Nandri, see you tomorrow.
Vanakkam.